Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Mel. I grew up playing outside.
And I grew up doing something meaningful, watching movies and TV.
I never had cable, and we finally bought a VCR about the same time DVD players hit the market.
Throughout our marriage, Mel has sadly missed many of my pop culture references and movie quotes.
So it's time to catch up on all the films I missed.
Good evening.
Ho, ho, howdy.
Ho, ho, howdy.
Good evening. You ready for a movie?
I am ready. I'm ready for a movie.
That take you by surprise?
It did. Which I understand why, because Christmas is just a few short days away. But full disclosure.
Yes.
Whenever anyone says to me, ho, 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 do you know what I think?
Hoes are actually really difficult to use in the garden.
In the garden, okay. The tool, the hoe, is difficult to use in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I think of Hans Gruber going, ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. That's what I think of pretty much every time I hear ho, ho, ho.
That's a great connection to ho, ho, ho.
Honestly, it's one of the best ho, ho, ho's in cinema history, in my opinion.
Oh, well, thanks for doing it in his voice, because I'm still craving hearing his voice.
I know. I try. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe Santa will bring you a viewing of Die Hard. Who knows?
Yes. What are we watching tonight?
You don't know?
I don't know.
Are you sure? There's all this library drama where you think you know, but you have no idea.
I already told you everything from the library, so
okay.
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything? All right. Well, tonight's film is A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. Oh.
Do you know what this film is?
I'm immediately annoyed. There's so many annoying parts in this movie.
Have you seen this movie?
I've seen this movie. I don't remember everything, and it was a long time ago. I was really little.
Same.
Yeah.
I also, when I think of this movie, get annoyed. It's like a weird, guilty, confession I have inside, because I hear tons of people talk about this movie and say they love it, and they watch it every year. And every time I hear it in my head, I think, why?
Why do that to yourself
why
year after
watch
year?
It every year? And I saw it too when I was young, and I only remember very little pieces about it. Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know if I watched the whole thing end to end. It was one of those TBS movies that was just on 24/7 for, a week leading up to Christmas or something. So you would catch clips of it. Mm-hmm. So this one doesn't surprise me you've seen it, because most people have seen it.
Right.
It's like drinking eggnog. Eggnog's not good. Some people think it's good. I don't. Apparently, I've never had the right eggnog. But anyway, I'm taking a stance. You like eggnog?
I like eggnog.
You like eggnog.
Yeah, but this movie...
It's a thing, though, when you're in the holiday seasons. You're like, all right, let's have some eggnog. Even though I know I don't like it, I'm going to try it again. And you give it a little sip, and you're like, yeah, no, I don't like that. So that's kind of what I was thinking we were going to do tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hey, Christmas isn't about doing what you want, Melissa. It's about being obligated to do things that you have to do every year.
Well, you're making it that way right now.
Oh,
what is this movie even about? As we're talking, I'm going through all the things I know about it, and there's no plot in there that I remember. There's no overarching plot. There's just little scenes.
What are the things you know?
Tongue stuck to
that's the first thing I think of too. Yes.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yep.
And then he does get the gun, and and then the leg lamp. Yes,
the famous leg lamp. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So those are the things that come to mind. None of those constitute a plot. So I don't know. This will be fun. Yay.
Do you want to play bingo with this one for fun then, to keep ourselves entertained? Obviously, besides the things that we just listed.
I don't know. Does this lend
itself to bingo? It's a Christmas story. Well, it's a Christmas story. There should be. I mean, it's literally a Christmas story. It's a film that's about Christmas. So.
Yeah. And also the name bothers me. It's so generic.
Uh-huh.
That you could accidentally call another movie that and confuse people.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, sure. Let's try Christmas bingo.
Okay.
With this Christmas movie.
Great. What do you think you want to have for it? Let me see. I'm going to go for someone's going to throw a tree away. They'll be angry. That's my guess. I don't remember.
Well, now I'm remembering more, so I'm not really good at. I'm like already saying things that I know are in the movie.
I remember less than you, so I'm going to pick it.
You do it. Okay.
I'm going to guess that there's going to be someone who's like not happy to be at a Christmas gathering.
Okay.
I think
that's a good one.
There's going to be a mom who has to make peace with the family.
That's classic. Yes.
I think there's going to be some kind of situation where the tree gets ruined in some way.
Yeah, that's...
What
that
else?
actually happened to me in real life.
Did it?
Yeah, we had a very Christmas bingo Christmas one time. And
okay. What else do I think is going to happen? Someone's going to like learn like the true meaning of Christmas in this movie.
Huh.
That one might be the weak link, but
okay,
that's another thing that typically happens.
Might there be eggnog?
Oh, that's a good call.
Okay.
Yeah, eggnog. And it's hard not to list the things I already know that are going to happen. I'm trying to stick to stuff I don't know.
Right. I think we'll see a Santa Claus.
I think we'll see someone like pretending to be Santa Claus. I'm being very specific. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this is good.
All right. So you've seen this. Do you remember what the movie poster looks like, or you want to give it a guess? Give it a guess.
Okay, I think it's a close-up of the leg lamp.
The leg lamp? Okay.
I know I've seen that.
Okay.
But I don't know if this is the movie poster.
Sure.
And I was trying to think of what the plot, like what the plot was, so that I could come up with the tagline.
Yeah.
He wanted a BB gun. He got it.
All right, that
something
works.
like that. I don't
that
know.
sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Has nothing to do with the leg lamp.
Good luck. Let's. It does have nothing. Yeah, exactly. You said the leg lamp's the poster. Wow. Okay. Let's. Good luck to us, and let's go check it out.
Oh my gosh! Let's get this over with.
Let's get it over with.
In this modern age,
perfect.
Too many people have lost sight of the true meaning of Christmas.
Mom! Hush! Shut up, Ralphie!
So now, in the spirit of the original,
Me to you! Stop!
traditional, American Christmas,
Thanks a lot!
MGM presents A Christmas Story.
Dancing through the snow.
Uncle!
In a one-horse open sleigh. For the field we go. Laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring. Making spirits fly. What fun it is to ride and sing.
Fragile. That must be Italian.
I think that says fragile, honey.
A Christmas Story.
Come on!
The movie that pulls off Santa's beard.
Oh, wow.
And unwraps the secrets
Did I get a tie this year?
of the original, traditional,
He looks like a deranged Easter bunny.
100% two-fisted, red-blooded,
It's smiling at me.
all-American Christmas. A Christmas Story.
Well then,
We survived.
we survived. Unless this is a really weird afterlife. That would be a weird afterlife to just have to watch that movie on repeat.
Oh no! Don't ever.
Don't ever
say that
Okay.
again. That's a terrible idea.
I won't say that again.
Okay. So, what did you think about it?
What did you think about it?
You first.
Oh, you're squinting at me. I know you're serious. Okay, so as I said before, I don't know if I'd seen this in its entirety, end to end, in my entire life.
Wow.
So seeing it all, like end to end, actually helped. Based on my previous, it could be the age I'm at too. Movies I see nowadays, I totally relate to, naturally, the parents a lot more.
Right.
And I actually found the dad pretty funny.
Yeah. The old man.
The old man. and the things he had to deal with, and the way his kids were crazy. And just I feel like they did a really good job of capturing that. So I could see why people watch this every year. It does have a feel of an encapsulation of Americana life.
Yeah, it's about the family.
Yeah,
it's about the characters, the personality of this family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
definitely.
What did you think? I didn't notice. I didn't actually state if I liked it or not.
So you said that though seeing it in its entirety helped. Why did that help?
Because it allowed, like a lot of movies, if you just see a scene, whether it's a really strong scene or a really weak scene, it can totally like sway you in how you feel about the movie.
Yeah. So
I seeing it all pieced together allowed like any weakness in the movie to be like lifted up by high points. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Context.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, you had me for whatever it was, the bully scene in the alleyway. That made me, that engaged me and made me laugh. I'll sit through this like really slow bit with the teacher, stuff like that. So I was more forgiving of the flaws, I guess.
Okay. Cool. So that was possibly your first time ever seeing that movie in its entirety. That's wow.
Probably end to end. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people would be surprised about that.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people watch this movie. There's always...
go ahead.
There's always things for sale, like ornaments, socks, books, journal covers, I don't know, whatever, that are about this movie.
This is definitely not, in my opinion, I'm not adding this to the every year we watch it rotation.
Thank goodness.
I don't think that it's that kind of movie. I'm glad I watched it just because it's like you hear about a lot of people watching it. So, and I wonder if that's generational though. I mentioned this while we were watching it because, it's like when it came out in the 80s, it was 83 when it came out. The narrator was supposed to be an adult. So he was like a kid in the 50s, I think we figured out, maybe late 40s, early 50s.
I saw some places where it was like 40s or 40s? Maybe like early 40s.
Okay. So he was in the 40s. So, okay. So then, yeah, that's a very idealized era in Americana. Like just the way life was back then, the simplicity of it and imagination. And, there was no television. It was all radio and using your imagination.
That's right. There was only radio.
Only radio.
Yeah.
So I could see why people like it for the nostalgia factor. But the question is like, now it's definitely had to have transcended past to the point of where it's like the nostalgia factor is the fact that kids grew up with their parents watching it. So they think about watching it with their parents. They're not being nostalgic about how life used to be. They're nostalgic about how their life used to be while watching it, I think.
We took a family poll a couple of weeks ago on favorite Christmas movies, and this one didn't come up at all.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like just thinking about that, like maybe like we're seeing the generation where like their parents aren't into it, and so they're not watching it as much. Because what came up mostly was, I can't think of the name.
It's a Wonderful Life.
That was that one, and then the Chevy Chase movie, National Lampoons.
What's the name of the movie though?
National Lampoons.
National Lampoons.
Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Ooh, that was a guess.
Golf clap.
Thank you.
No.
I'll take a golf clap. So those two movies came up. I think those were the two top contenders. But
amongst your family,
yes,
for context,
this very small section of people.
Yes, a very small cross section.
Yes.
Okay. What did you think of the movie?
I didn't loathe it as much as I was expecting.
Oh,
I found some things that were okay about it, and that I can enjoy.
It looks like you were pained in saying those words. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we watched it and now I'm just glad we don't have to watch it every year. Okay.
If you could go back in time and talk to yourself when you were about to watch it, because you were not happy that we were going to watch this.
I really didn't want to.
What would you say to yourself?
It'll be okay. You can make it through.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Okay. It's not going to be as horrible as you think it is. Okay.
Okay. Horrible things that I didn't like about the movie.
Yeah.
all the mouth noises and oh my gosh, so much like facial close-ups.
And the kid, the littlest brother with his like, he does the pig scene. That had to be the worst.
Yeah, the mom was like asking him to eat his food and he was like, pretend you're a piggy, and his face was covered in mashed potatoes. Ugh. It was like a movie that was trying to annoy you. If there's like a genre of movie called annoying, like this would be it.
They do like, I wonder, that had to have been intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
like,
think so, totally.
And I wonder if it's from the perspective of like kids, when you have children, you realize how quickly they just have hair trigger annoyances. And so maybe they were like coloring the film with that, you know, like just these subtle ways of just perceiving the world through a child's point of view.
I think they were just trying to show like the real life of a real family, a real Christmas, a real life. Things that I did like about the movie, though, I like the narration.
Yeah, that was a good convention.
And the narrator himself, like I loved his extravagant use of vocabulary. Like he just had so many, it was like a thesaurus speaking. So I did like that. That was cool. That actually inspired a TV show after this.
Yes.
Do you know what show started as
The Wonder Years?
The Wonder Years.
Yeah, because the narration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but I mean, that's what I think of when I think of a show with narration.
Yeah, right. I also liked the acting of the parents. They were really good comedic actors.
Yes.
Because there's all these like really silly dream sequences with Ralphie where he kind of daydreams. And there's one where it's like every kid's dream that he just comes home blind. Because of something that the parents did to him, and now they're going to be sorry, and so the parents are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yes.
But the mom and dad actors, they were really good and really, I liked watching them.
Yeah, that scene in particular, I laughed a lot at that one because it just I forgot. I remember it once I saw it, but I forgot it was there, and it just punched me in the memory. Like I literally was thinking about like the seething anger that only a child can have about like being told to do something completely reasonable, like dusting a table or something. And then just the betrayal, and you hold on to this rage and you're like, one day, Mom, you're going to find me whatever.
Yeah.
Like I just, it really punched me in the memory.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, we didn't do a summary of the film. What's the summary of this film?
The summary of the film is there's a little boy who wants this BB gun for Christmas, and he is just doing everything he can to get it. Meanwhile, the family goes about their Christmas things, getting the tree, going to the mall, and seeing Santa. There's a Christmas parade.
Of course there is.
The dad wins this contest and gets a lamp. That's the a shapely leg in fishnets.
Yes.
So there's all these weird family things happening.
It's an award. He's very specific about that.
It's an award.
It's an accomplishment. They never go into like what contest he won.
I didn't catch it.
He never said that. They never say that.
Okay.
I wonder if it was like in a magazine he like just submitted like whatever. You just enter a contest. But the way he talked about it, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the dad.
Yeah, the dad was funny.
Yeah, so summarizing here, then it's all about him just trying to get that gun, really.
True.
And the whole thing is like, everyone keeps saying, you'll shoot your eye out. And I kept thinking, how on earth is that possible? He's not pointing the gun at himself. It's a BB gun, right? It's not going to recoil into his eye. Like, why?
Spoken like someone who didn't have a BB gun.
Well, I just kept thinking that, like, this is a weird thing to say.
Okay.
That's a weird comment. And it's not just his mom that says it. It's his teacher. She leaves it on his homework. He thinks he's going to do so good. And
Santa Claus says it, I think, too.
Yeah. And then at the very end, he gets the gun for Christmas.
Yes.
And he goes out in the backyard and he shoots the gun, and right away it bounces off something and it hits him in the face.
Yes.
And he loses his glasses fall off. He steps on his glasses. It's just like the worst thing because he thinks he did shoot his eye out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure every kid, and I speak from experience, I had a BB gun growing up, and there were definitely ricochets when I got hit.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely. But the more common injury is playing with your friend and they shoot you. Because when you're a kid, like you see it with kids in Nerf guns nowadays, they cannot resist the urge to just the joy they feel when pointing something that can projectile at someone else is just so crazy. I totally had ricochets come back and hit me. So
okay.
And in the movie, he's literally shooting it. He puts a target on over a piece of metal. So, of course, it's going to ricochet instead of like wood, where it would just, absorb it.
And also, of course, because the movie takes place in the 40s, his parents aren't supervising. They give him the gun, and he just goes out and does something with it. Like, they're not around to watch. They've got other things to do.
They do.
Yeah, a turkey to attend to.
The mom is just constantly doing housework and things because there's like no automatic dishwashers or washing machines. Or
It is fun also to see us that the way people lived back then.
Yeah, you pointed out the potatoes under the sink. There's just this giant basket of potatoes under the sink.
Yes, yeah.
So let's talk about the bigs. Tongue on the flagpole scene.
I hate that scene. It makes me so uncomfortable.
Why?
Because it just seems so painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid did a really good job.
He did, yeah.
Do you know how they did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
They were using suction.
Yeah.
To like suck his tongue to the pole. But Mythbusters did this, and they concluded that it is possible.
To use suction on a pole, or
that your tongue could freeze. I think the quote was something like freezing temperatures can turn your saliva to glue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've literally experienced that.
Before. You have?
Yes.
What? Tell me about.
I grew up in very brutal winters. Like, I don't know. It was something. It was probably because we saw this movie. There was the whole like, I wonder if it really happens. And there's like, I don't know, a dock post that's just stored for the winter, sitting around.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't that bad, but it was like it stuck instantly, and then you pull, and then you've got a little bit of a abrasion on your tongue.
Do you know when you're getting ice cubes out and sometimes they stick to your fingers and you have to pull it off? I think of that scene every time. Okay, other big scenes.
I just can't believe that no one, like in the moment of it, I get they did it for dramatic effect, but like you could just get warm liquid.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's gross, but you could spit on it and it would come off. Like, just giving practical advice to people who find them in this situation, you don't need to call the fire department, for the record.
Warm water.
Warm water.
You'll be right as rain.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the other big scenes?
Well, I think the leg lamp, there's a lot to unpack there, even though there wasn't a lot to unpack because it was in this like mummy body level, like
they
casket.
Didn't have cardboard back then.
True.
If you shipped something, you had to build a box to ship it in.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
there was
right?
all the hay in there or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just that whole...
the dad is so proud of it and thinks it's beautiful. And Ralphie keeps like
wanting to touch it. Yeah. That also reminded me of my childhood because everybody when I was a kid wore nylons.
Yeah.
That was a thing. And nylons feel amazing. And when you're a little kid running around like feeling nylons, anyway, it's a tactile sensation. Yep.
I'm sure the ladies at church just loved you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And the grocery store.
Oh my gosh.
For the record, I'm talking like really little, like 2 or 3. Okay, I don't want to get weird.
Not 13.
Not 13. I was not doing that at 13. Maybe 14, but no.
So also, wait, we were talking about other big scenes. The Santa Claus in the mall.
Yes.
When they go like up to the top and there's a slide that you have to go down and like he gets pushed down the slide.
Yes. The thing that strikes me about that one is it's such a great encapsulation of so much of life. You're like...
It's a metaphor for life.
Yes, I got to go do this thing. Okay, fine. I guess I'll do it. You get over there and you think it's going to be one thing. He thinks the line is like where the stairs start.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, oh no, it's all the way down around the corner.
Yeah.
And then he waits. And then he finally gets up there. And then it's just this... I love how they did the POV shots, point of view, from his point of view of like picking him up and the elves looking like all grumpy.
Yes. Yeah. That was clever.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But that's why I never wanted to do the Santa thing with our kids.
Ditto. Exactly for that reason. I saw that when I was younger and it scared me.
Well, I mean, I grew up too seeing pictures of kids, myself included, on Santa Claus's lap, not looking that happy. So I was like, why would I? Let's stop this generational like experience. Yeah.
Yeah. another iconic scene that we didn't mention in our is the pink bunny pajamas that he gets from his aunt, and his mom makes him put them on. And they're so embarrassing and ridiculous.
he probably didn't even know at that age what being emasculated was, but that was just it really captured the experience quite well.
It really does. Yeah.
Although it was impressive ears. Like on the head,
was.
they like had good texture and positioning. So,
and I think they kind of stand up on their own. That's hard to do.
They did, especially like that had to be like wire frame in the ear,
definitely,
like wire outlines. That was horrible though. The thing that really confused me about that though was why did he was like what 11, maybe 10?
Okay, sure.
Let's just call him, I don't know, 9 or 10.
Okay.
Why did the 10-year-old get it, but not the 5-year-old? Or the 6-year-old, the younger brother who was very clearly still had a lot of like baby tendencies, like the younger kid. He didn't get one. He didn't get anything that looked like that. Only Ralphie got it.
Well, one thing they got really well about family and kids, I think that's maybe why people like the movie, but one of the comments about the younger brother was something like, the narrator says, he hasn't ever eaten an entire meal on his own.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people might know a child like that.
I think so.
You can relate to that. But why also, back to the pajamas, why did he have to go and put them on immediately?
And then the worst part is I don't know, this is like present etiquette. We might need to get into present etiquette in a moment, but present etiquette, they just said, okay, go get it on. And then they continued to open presents.
Yeah, without him there.
That feels like a strong violation of present etiquette.
Different family
dynamics.
Yeah.
Like my family was very much usually we would do one at a time. You'd go. Sometimes we would do the unison open if it were traded gifts. But definitely there's always protocol. You're not doing it willy-nilly with someone gone. Like it's a group, you're in it together.
Right.
So that felt very,
It's like not pausing the movie when someone has to use the bathroom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
other iconic scenes you want to hit on?
Well, I don't know if you... we just said the leg opening was strange. What did you think of all the other parts? Like it has the best line in the movie was from the narrator probably, where he said the lamp oozed pure electric sex or something like that. It was just like such a ridiculous. Oh, that scene was just hilarious.
Yeah.
The fact that the dad was out there without his winter coat when there's snowbanks everywhere, he was so excited. That he was out there. Anyway.
And is that the one where they plug it in and some of the lights catch fire? Or the outlet? Maybe that's the tree they're plugging in.
That's I think it's when he first plugs it in. I think it was when he did the lamp.
Okay.
Or maybe it was the tree. I don't remember. But yeah, just seeing thinking about the electrical systems in the houses back then.
I love how they just subtly show how the mom is against the lamp. Her facial expression, of course. But there's one time when she turns off the lamp when they're leaving to get the tree, and she's like, "Oh, gotta save electricity."
Yeah.
Well, no man in the 40s can argue with that.
It's true,
right?
That's true.
You can't go against that.
No.
But then I love how they leave it open-ended, that it's broken. You hear it break. You go in the room and the mom is there. But you don't know how it happened.
Well, she says she was dusting and it just slipped.
Open-ended. Was it intentional?
And then he was like, "You were always jealous of my achievement."
I know.
The other iconic scene I think of this one is the changing of the tire. What'd you think of that one?
Yeah, I saw some fudge for sale that had Ralphie's face on it.
Fudge.
And it was called Oh Fudge. Yeah.
Wow.
Endless marketing. Again, when I saw this, I must have been a young impressionable age because I was I felt this pit of a stomach tumbling in fear when he knocked the bolts, and that in itself is oh no, how are you going to do this if you just lost all the bolts in the snow in the dark? And then when he says the bad word and gets in trouble for it, it really made me feel like I was in trouble just for watching it,
it definitely had that feel.
Yeah. What did you think?
I was trying to think of like the first time that if I accidentally or intentionally swore in front of my parents, and I can't really remember it. It probably wouldn't have been as big of a deal as it was in this movie. Mm-hmm. Although I don't think I was like 8 years old when I did it. So yeah, I think it's hilarious that the parents, the observation of the narrator is like straight on. Like he learned all these things from his parents.
Right.
His father is constantly cursing like a sailor.
Yeah.
Or a furnace repairman in this case, because he's in the basement and he's like wrestling with the monster, whatever they say. The furnace keeps breaking. And him throwing his friend under the bus over that he learned it. Like, it was just this layered experience of really capturing childhood fear really well. Like, he could have just told the truth. He could have just said, I heard Dad. But the fear of getting into an even deeper layer of trouble was so palpable that he just instantly like threw that away and threw his friend under the bus.
Yeah. But then like, it's also I don't know, you see his deep remorse over that because he got his friend into way more trouble than he got.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So it hit a lot of, I think the reason people like this movie is it hits a lot of iconic experiences you have as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, getting in trouble with your parents like that for the first time where you're kind of like bridging into the adult world, being bullied and devalued.
Oh my gosh, the bully was the worst. He was so annoying.
He was really annoying. Yeah. The bullying was crazy. And just the feeling of not being heard, like as a kid. Mm-hmm. Like the whole movie feels like it's him not being heard. But then in the end he is heard. So yeah.
And then he shoots his
his cheek out. I said I was going to play bingo with this one. Did you want to hear how I did? I haven't told you my tally. Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear.
So first we had someone discovering the meaning of Christmas. I didn't write any down, but I think they did. Actually, I meant to write it down because at the very end, after everything had been ruined and they went to the restaurant and were eating there, yes. I feel like that was them realizing like just they're in this together and feeling the moment of it. So okay. I feel like they discovered the meaning of Christmas in that.
Okay.
Because they could have easily gotten upset about the turkey being destroyed in the meal and then just descended into chaos versus just like, we just need to spend time with each other. Tree being damaged. That happened like a couple times on the lot. So I took that as a technicality because in the tree lot, he like hit it and all the needles were falling out of trees.
Right. They had a hard time finding a good tree.
And technically, the electrical outlet was being damaged when the tree was plugged in. So anyway, more damage. Tree being thrown away. None were thrown away. Unfortunately, I didn't win that one.
Nope.
Mother making peace. I counted 2, but there were probably way more than that.
Definitely she was the peacemaker backbone of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one especially where she like, it was when Ralphie beat up the bully and then she kind of like just subverted and didn't say what happened and just kind of like wrote it off with the dad.
Yeah.
That was like a cool, solid mom moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone disgruntled at a family gathering. There were no family gatherings unless you count their everyday life in which the dad was disgruntled all the time. So, and then drinking eggnog. No mention of eggnog at all. So
maybe it wasn't around in the 40s.
Yeah, it may not have been. That'd be interesting to look up. So I had about 50% average there, I think.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah. Not as good as yours. You knocked it out of the park when you did it.
Thank you.
So if you could have a lamp made of any part of your body, what would it be?
That's a really brilliant question.
Thank you.
It really lights me up.
Oh.
I kind of want.
You are beaming.
What?
You are beaming.
Thank you. And that was another good pun.
That was another good pun, yes.
I'm trying to think of how to describe this. My first thought was my nose.
Your nose?
Yeah. And then having like light come out of the nostrils.
Whoa, that sounds horrific.
I mean.
Okay. No, keep going.
Horrific is one way to describe it, I guess.
It's your dream, yeah.
Or awesome.
Or awesome, okay.
And artsy.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Either that or like, can't believe I'm going to say this, but like when I was when I was pregnant and having my belly be the thing that glows.
Yeah. That'd actually be really neat.
Yeah.
They'd probably actually make that.
Perhaps.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I'm scared to ask you your answer to this question.
Oh, I would I just want a big old, my head as a lamp, and when you turn it on, my beard glows.
Yes, I was going to say.
That's what I would want.
The beard should glow.
It would be horrifying.
You know how we've said like this is like a big movie for a lot of people. A lot of people watch it every year. This is from a story from Vanity Fair in 2016. The movie's director, Bob Clark. He was once in a restaurant in New Hampshire, and he thought he overheard a family, like at a table nearby, like saying the dialogue from this movie. And
this is after he made the movie, correct?
Yes.
Because otherwise, that's a weird dream.
Before the movie, no.
Okay.
And later, someone at the restaurant told him that it was a ritual for that family to come there every Christmas Eve, sit around the table, and recite dialogue from every scene. And this is what he says. This is his quote. "That's when it began to sink in. This low-budget fluke of a movie," end quote, "had become like a tradition for a lot of people."
Nice.
So I just thought that was really funny. Like that's how some people celebrate Christmas, by quoting this movie.
That is pretty. It's actually oddly sweet. I think about movies we have every year. Home Alone is one of the movies we watch every year now.
Yeah.
Now that our kids have gotten older, and that movie's pretty crazy too. Like when you think about the things that happen and stuff. So watching that every year seems like kind of a funny tradition too. So traditions come in all shapes and sizes.
I'm glad you brought up Home Alone because I have 2 nephews.
Yes.
And one nephew, when he was a boy, he looked a lot like
Kevin McAllister.
Kevin McAllister.
Yes, he did.
And the other nephew,
yes,
when he was a boy,
yes,
looked a lot like Ralphie.
Yes.
So I have 2 nephews, one from each of those iconic movies. How weird is that? That
makes me wonder if we had another child, if we would have a random like childhood, random Christmas actor.
Oh no, we didn't have the Christmas actors. Maybe if they had another child.
That's true.
Might have been.
You never know. The gene pool can get tricky and just pop in wherever it wants to.
They might have had another boy and he might have looked like John McClane. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that would have been amazing. Oh. Wow, you sure we can't have any more? Because that's the first real rational reason I've heard to have more kids in a while. Wow. Okay, well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You filthy animal.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.